Ever put your blood, sweat, and tears into building a beautiful website? Now you want to release it to the internet for everyone to see. Today I'm going to show you with any computer and some Linux magic, boom, you can create your own secure web server. First, let's talk about choosing your web server. All you need for right now is any reliable computer. For this project, we're using Ubuntu Linux because it's lightweight, secure, and free. Sure, you could use Windows, but why bring a butter knife to a sword fight? First, let's see how to get your network panel. Start on a computer of your choosing. Open up your terminal, then we will find your IP address. We will input ipconfig. This will display all our network adapters. Let's look for Ethernet adapter Ethernet since we are using Ethernet for this example. Next, let's find our default gateway. To the right of that text will be our IP address. Copy only the IP address and paste that into your web browser. Now log into your network panel. Now let's look at how to reserve an IP address. Think of it as reserving your server a VIP parking spot in your home network. Once you've logged into your network panel, don't be afraid if yours looks different. They are generally easy to navigate. Since we are reserving an IP address, we need to look under the Advanced tab. There we will find IP address, click on that drop-down and find DHCP reservation. DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. It's what allows us to make these specific configurations. Once inside, look for your device in the drop-down and select it. Usually you will automatically be given an IP address when reserving, but you can do a custom once if you like. After you've done that, just click Apply, and then you've reserved an IP address. As you can see, we have this IP address already reserved on the router, so every time the router needs to send web traffic, it will send it through that IP. Now let's open the right doors to your server with port forwarding. Inside of the network panel, we are going to go to Advanced, then Security, and finally Port Forwarding. In my case, I have already port forwarded my machine, but I will walk you through what to click. Let's start by clicking New. Once inside, we want to pick out the device we want to forward. So for me, that's going to be my virtual machine. Then we will leave the protocol on TCP. Since HTTP is over port 80, we will set the start and end to 80. Make sure you have all IP addresses selected so anyone can connect. Lastly, we will set WAN to 80. Now click Apply. Once you've completed those steps, every time someone accesses your IP over port 80, they will be routed to the specified machine. That machine is our web server hosting Apache. Now let's install Apache as our web traffic bouncer. Installing Apache is like hiring the bouncer every website dreams of. Just one command, sudo install Apache 2 and boom, you've got Gary replaced. Let's start by having our website on our desktop. Then let's go into our terminal. Now that we are in the terminal, we are going to run the command to install Apache. That command is sudo apt install Apache 2. I already have it installed, but the process basically completes itself and installs. Now let's clear our terminal. Next, let's find where our website file actually is in our system. For me, that's in my desktop, so I will run cd/desktop//. Let's quickly use ls to make sure our website is there. Let's move our website file to the default Apache directory. To do this, we will run sudo mv website.html/www/html. Now our website is moved. To make sure our website was moved into the correct place and is running, let's open Firefox. To get to the web server you just created, you need to type in localhost/website.html. There we go, we see it's running locally on our computer. Ever had a nosy neighbor peeking into your window? That's what happens if you leave directory listing on. Although we have our website up, it's not secure yet. On a separate machine, I'm going to pull up our awesome website. There it is, running on a different machine and network. We can navigate to any part of the computer hosting this website that we want by simply typing different directory names such as etc/passwords. We can now see the passwords file on our virtual machine, Now we can change passwords to shadow to display another file with sensitive content that we don't want others seeing. Since we just saw how vulnerable our web server is to path traversal, we need to make sure to secure it ASAP. The problem that's happening is we have an insecure default stuck config file. To fix this, let's cd into etc, then Apache 2. Once inside of that directory, let's cd again into sites available. Now we will be given to files, one that says 00 and another that says SSL. We want to go into the 000 once, but we also need to open it in a text editor. To do this, we will open it with nano. The command we will run it sudo nano 000 default.conf. Now that we are in that file, we see that document root is set as the root directory of the entire system. With it set this way, it allowed us to navigate the entire computer. To fix this, we will set document root to var www html. Now that we've fixed that huge security flaw, let's restart the system. Now when we are back on the website, we see that we can only access website.html. We can try and go into another directory such as etc/shadow, but it won't let us now that we have fixed that security issue. Now we have a secure website. Now for some quick tips on how to stay secure. Firstly, make sure to update all your packages consistently. First, let's open the terminal. Then let's type sudo apt update. Let that run and update all files. Then to install those updates, we will run sudo upgrade. Lastly, let's install UFW. UFW, or uncomplicated firewall, helps us make sure when people access our web server, they can only access through port 80 and not anything else. In your terminal, type sudo UFW enable. Then check the status with sudo UFW status. Now that we see it's active, type sudo UFW default deny. This will block all traffic to the web server. Now create a rule with sudo UFW allow 80. This will make it where anyone accessing our web server /host machine cannot remotely access our machine through SSH. Anything other than port 80 will be blocked. Congratulations, you just turned a boring PC into a web serving powerhouse. Keep exploring, tweaking, and making the web a better place, starting with your own site.